Please avoid damaging yourself or others while you are out.
Can we talk?
Another science lab, another dead body. How refreshing.
Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay.
Great work. You'll have to show me how to do that.
Everything's going to be okay. Just breathe, Kelly. Everything's going to be all right. Ah! Stop making that noise. They'll hear you. Who's out there? Really? I would be indebted to you for life. But how do I know I can believe you? I'll have to come out to assess it myself. Hold on. I'm opening the door.
Let me just catch my breath. I swear, my heart's trying to punch its way out of my chest. Law, I'm so lucky you came along. I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, 'cause no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. You're an odd one, aren't you? No respectable company operates without a receptionist. Project's on a yearly rotation cycle. Once a year, Auntie Cleo reviews our work and decides if we get more rations, personnel, deadlines, that sort of thing. At first, I thought it was an honor, getting assigned to a lab up in the ether high above Olympus. But I didn't know what it'd be like, day in and day out. I ask myself that question a lot, and then I realize I'm talking to myself. Cabin fever sets in at about 90 days. Auntie Cleo's official term is contagious irritable claustrophobia, and it ain't covered by the company's medical policy. After a while, you start imagining things, unhealthy things, like what might happen if you triggered Pink Slip Protocol. I did try once or twice, but wasn't ever successful. Now I'm glad. But enough about me. I never did ask why you were here. If I had to guess, you'd probably find his body either in his office or the labs. Or heck, he could have been on the toilet. I don't know. No bones about it, he was the smartest of us all. Maybe he evaded the automex too. Like what? Pink Slip Protocol. How should I know? I just monitor the front desk. Well, except for the last couple of days when I've been hiding out in here. If you work at Oops, you're doing research and development. If we're not researching or developing fast enough, the protocol's there to put the fear in us. Somebody messed up. When one of us makes a mistake, the whole facility pays for it. I know it sounds harsh, but it was in our contracts and everything. Yep. Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station. Auntie Cleo's naming and branding department's the best in Halcyon. Just a feeling I got. Every day was the same as every other day. I felt like I was stuck in a circle, you know? Started imagining what it'd be like to break that circle. Station goes in a circle around the planet, so what if I just dropped off the edge? But after what I've seen, after what happened, I don't want that anymore. I want to live. I'm not making anything. The research team, they were brewing up some improvement to Auntie Cleo's anthracycline. Science stuff isn't really my area, though, so I don't know more than that. Do I ever? Drop me off on the groundbreaker and I'll be out of your hair in no time. Oh, thank you so much. I'll just hide in a crate or something. You won't even know I was there. Here, this is my official laboratory headgear. I won't be needing it anymore, so it's all yours.
I'm going. Understood. On my way.
You think it's supposed to shake like that?
Handled beautifully.
Teach me that. Can we talk?
Sure.
They can't keep us out.
Unexpected. Performing an area sweep now.
Well done. easy. Nicely done.
Processing.
You got it.
System up. Beginning security.
Make him regret it.
unexpected noise. I just creeping.
They come.
Can we talk?
Sure. Great work.
Sure.
System. System security patrol initiated.
Easy.
You gotta teach me that.
Won't do it all. Are you imbecile? One team is a tragedy, two teams is a blunder.
Real slick.
Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? All sorts of things. Science, mainly. A little bit of research. If you're talking about all the dead bodies, that'd be the pink slip protocol. Right. That answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
Something tells me he's not looking for caffeinoid, Captain.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. Ugh, stale drugs. Well, what's one more disappointment anyway? You mean my inhaler? It's designed to deliver a highly concentrated dose of Sky High right through my respiratory system. The formula's still a work in progress. Clears my mind for a few precious moments. The rowdy tenants of my mind palace stop their chattering, and in that silence, I experience clarity. Inspiration through inhalation. That's Sky High. Or it will be, once I perfect my formula.
Doctor's orders.
I'm not sure that's such a good idea, Captain.
Who's-y-what's-y now? Take an inhale? Yes, yes. An excellent suggestion. Much better. My mind is clear. So are my sinuses, in fact.
I've got a hypothetical question for you, Dr. Lowe. If you were to, say, encourage someone to consume drugs, and then that someone later overdosed, would you be a murderer? Do you think in that case, a captain who accelerated a drug habit would be a murderer?
And the so-called victim in this scenario holds no responsibility in the matter? No, I don't think so. To each their own common sense.
I knew you would, Captain.
I, for one, am glad the sermon's finished. I have much work yet to do. Auntie Cleo instituted the Pink Slip Protocol. Fancy marketing term that translates to, we're not satisfied with the quality of your work, so we're revoking your lifetime contracts. Can you believe Auntie terminated my entire team? It's a terrible setback. For my team, I mean, not for me. Not this time. I'll continue the work on my own if need be. Of course I do. Why'd you figure I've inhaled myself into such a detached emotional state? Obviously, it's so that I can care far less, and thus continue to operate at peak efficiency for the project's sake.
Yeah. At least you've got your priorities in order.
Grief is painful, but not facing it is more painful in the long run. Believe me, I know.
Good thing I couldn't give a whit what any of you think. Auntie had been threatening to instigate pink slip protocol for months, though I honestly didn't think they'd have the stones to do it. I was on the verge of giving Auntie the results she wanted. Well, almost on the verge. Approaching the verge. The point is, I didn't think this would happen. Bureaucratic procrastination and some incompetent saber-rattling. Before I was traded, I worked on Project Gorgon. I lost that team by attrition. Management turned the screw on my team, forced me to fire 1 in 10 researchers. The few of us that remained were overworked and exhausted. We didn't have much of a security detail. I don't know how the primals got loose, but my team didn't stand a chance. You've done your research. Yes. The unfortunately named Mr. Goodfellow decided his ego was more important than our research. We were designing a drug the likes of which Halcyon had never seen. A veritable panacea that cured lethargy and guaranteed a lifetime of productivity. I was overwhelmed, overworked, frustrated. Forced to submit unfinished samples, failing to meet impossible deadlines. I started self-medicating to enable my genius to perform at a greater capacity, to forget, to endure, to feel nothing. Project Gorgon was in its final days when the primals attacked our lab. It wasn't long until Spacer's Choice authorized my transfer to this facility. Human Inquiry was supposed to be responsible for testing Adrenatime. Under normal circumstances, the chem lab wouldn't have had to perform live tests. But creative incubation pressured my team with impossible deadlines. The prototypes we delivered to Dr. Blakesley at Human Inquiry were poor because we were rushed. I had to begin experimenting on my own. I had to perform my own tests, so I used primals. They're not the best choice for test subjects, but I was working for Spacer's Choice. Whoever reached greatness by coloring within the lines. And besides, my lines often move around on the page. My point is, I was doing my job. I was doing science. I will continue to do so until my mind or my body expires. Not at all. Such an event is incredibly rare. Few workers understand the truth of their value to society. Me? I'm worth 5 measly lab coats. She would. No doubt she'd stuff my brain in a jar if she could. Do you know what she quoted to me one time from some rubbish Earth book? Looked me right in the eyes and said, "You are a brain, Jasper. The rest of you is a mere appendix." Yes, well, whatever isn't. The key to forgetting, I suppose. Auntie Cleo wants us to develop Anthracillin Plus, a new and improved version of the original Anthracillin formula. And what Auntie wants, Auntie gets. Eventually. I was making considerable progress. I can't possibly fathom why they prematurely terminated the project. I'm not lying. I'm carefully curating the truth for you. All right, listen. Auntie needs to be patient. I'll eventually get around to developing Anthracillin Plus. My priority right now is sky high. Once I perfect my formula, I'll be able to keep my mind functioning at peak performance without any pesky distractions. Like feelings. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Well, it wasn't me. I've been stuck in this place for ages. In any case, it's becoming obvious you're not listening to sensible warnings. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. Not that it's any of your business, but I don't get to quit. My colleagues are dead, and yet I live. So I don't get to quit. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want. Of course you do. Well then, let's hear them. Did you snoop through my things? And just admit it to me. You do have gall, I'll give you that. Look, I keep a draft on my terminal where I vent my occasional frustrations with upper management. It's honestly one of my less detrimental coping methods, as I am not stupid enough to fill out the name in the address field. One thing at a time, my chatty accomplice. Turbine repairs first, interviews later.
I need a word. Got nimble fingers, Captain.
I am certain we are not all about to die horribly. Relatively. Here they come.
Can we talk?
I'm going.
System unexpected noise identified. Investigating.
Oh, sweet.
Sure.
Fair mistake. Okay. Sure.
System.
Here they come.
There we go.
Okay.
Understood. On my way.
Sure don't see that every day, Captain.
The facility's back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jasper, you imbecile. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. I knew I should have deleted those letters. Of all the hull-headed things I've done while inebriated, writing subversive messages to my old managers ranks somewhere in the middle. Here, my personal security keycard. There's a hallway near the processing room. It leads to a security terminal. Use this keycard to unlock the hallway and disable security. Even if I wanted to talk about Project Gorgon, I couldn't. All my memories of Gorgon are intact, but they're in disarray. Like a book with its pages shuffled. Making sense of those memories requires clarity of mind. Clarity that only Sky High gives me. To tell you everything I know, I'd have to be dangerously euphoric. All right, just one inhale. Easy does it, Jasper. Have you ever seen a lake as still and clear as a mirror? That's how my mind feels right now. The disaster at the chem lab was my fault. I tested adrenatime on primals. I decimated my own research team. And I was a coward. I locked myself up in isolation. I told myself that I needed silence and solitude to perfect my formula for Sky High. But the truth is that I was ashamed. Nothing? Everything? I told myself I needed a drug to help me focus, help me work. The weight of guilt crushed my capacity to work, but if I didn't work, then I was worthless. Adrenatime was like that. It was designed and marketed as a necessity. An elixir of productivity. It made you feel guilty for not using it, and then hurt you when you used it. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I suppose you're right. I do need to relax. Up you go, old friend. And just like that, the demons of my mind have all gone silent. I'm a scientist. My entire life is built on the foundation that science is a force for good in the world. I believed in Project Gorgon. Spacer's Choice didn't. The compound that we discovered on Gorgon had all the makings of an elixir. It could have been the greatest medical achievement since the discovery of antibiotics. I'm saying Spacer's Choice never saw anything in Gorgon beyond profit. Adrenatime would have taken years to develop responsibly. We needed time, resources, room to make mistakes. Project leadership panicked at the first sign of a mistake. They gave us no resources, slashed our time in half, and demanded we produce anything marketable. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. Surely you jest. Even were I inclined to teach you, which I am not, you wouldn't be able to replicate an alternative to Compound X. The compound is derived from the metabolic waste of xenocytes, a microbial life form growing beneath the surface of Gorgon. However, they're accursedly sensitive to their ecosystem. Exactly. When Project Gorgon was active, corporates' varied attempts to port xenocytes off-world killed them, every time. And even were one able to cultivate xenocytes in a petri dish, they'd need millions to refine even a dash of the compound. We mined immense amounts of Compound X directly from subterranean caverns in Gorgon. So you see, there is no Adrenatime without Project Gorgon. I'm on the verge of a breakthrough. I can feel it in my toes. I'm so ecstatic I could kiss you. But I won't. Bodily fluids are unbecoming outside of a petri dish. Shh.
You're adjusting before you pull. You're anticipating it. You...
Of course I'm anticipating it. What if I shoot a friend on accident?
That's on account of your stance. You want to lean
Gee,
into
the
it.
scenery sure
Embrace
is something.
It. Work with it.
Can't wait to
You're
see
in
the
control of your
groundbreaker.
Parvati, not the gun.
I thought about
Don't let a
hiding
hunk
in a
of metal
crate,
jerk you
but they all
around.
smell sort of
You've been
funny.
around powerful machinery all your life.
Your ship's real
You're
nice.
always in control, right?
I do hope the name's ironic,
I guess that's
though.
kind of like when the filler's
Is
shooting
something
600
leaking, or does it
cans
always smell
near
like
molten
this?
cell
Not
tuna
that
down
I'm
the conveyor
complaining.
while
I'm just curious.
trying to tune a belt.
Here, stand like me.
Is something leaking,
so.
or does it always smell like
Hip
this?
square.
Not that I'm
Lean
complaining.
forward a little. It's just equipment. You're just an intern.
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Max, you're always going on about destiny. What did your mother do?
She was a simple laborer.
And your father?
The same.
And you ended up a preacher how?
Delusion. I could not accept a life that I felt was beneath me, so I convinced myself that becoming a vicar would solve all my problems. In a strange way, it did. Eventually.
Captain, got a minute?